of Culver City. So I'm Britta Eriksson, and I am an owner of Euro VAT Refund based in Culver City, and I also am a resident of Culver City. And I'm pleased to be here today as one of the co-chairs for the Women in Business Committee. You will hear from other co-chair candidates later. It is our 6th annual Women in Business Leadership Awards today, and our first in-person event since the pandemic, so yay. I think it is great that we can recognize the women of the city for their contribution, as well as being leaders of the industries that they are. The event is about community and the celebration of many phenomenal women that impact through our business every day. We look forward to recognize our honorees today and hear their inspiring stories.
Hopefully you guys are enjoying your lunch. Continue to eat, but we want to be cognizant of everybody's time and keep the program moving. So at this time, I'd like to introduce some of our elected officials and special guests in attendance. I think I've seen most of you all, and hopefully I don't get anything thrown at me if I miss anybody. So we're gonna start out with Scott Houston, Director of West Basin Water District. Göran Eriksson, former mayor and current Culver City council member. Police Chief Manuel Cid with Culver City Police Department. If I could see her. Heather Baker, who is our newly minted city attorney. I'm going to put an emphasis on this one because I promised him I would. Former Mayor Jim Clark. And then from our chamber board, as far as past chairs, Kristin Cavanaugh, who you'll hear from a little bit later. Our current board chair, Cedric Joynes. And joining us virtually, our chair-elect, Maria Jacobo. And before I move to past honorees, I also want to acknowledge our city manager, John Nakbar. So joining us, we have some past honorees. I mentioned this is our 6th annual, so we've been doing this for a little while. So thank you to our past honorees for joining. Patty Ree with Ehrlich and I Ree Cheney. Britta Eriksson, who you heard from earlier and you'll hear from again. Candace Simmons with All That and More Boutique. You'll hear from her shortly. And I know she's somewhere around here. Joan Kung with Culver City Volvo. Joining us virtually as well are our immediate past co-chairs of our Women in Business Council, Monica Razalou Munoz and Mojde Zavos, who have led our council for the past 2 years, half of that time actually being during the pandemic. So thank you for them as well. And at this time, I'm pleased to bring up the other half, if you will, the co-chair of our Women in Business Council, Candace Simmons, to start the introduction of our honorees.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am so honored and excited to be here. It's been an amazing, well, we're creating an amazing year going forward. And we know that the year that we've come out of is much greater than the year that lies, the year ahead of us is much greater than the year that lies behind us. And we're moving forward as all of you have and showing up today. So we thank you. That being said, again, I want to thank Colin. As I mentioned, it's my pleasure to be here and stand here as a former honoree and being a co-chair with Britta. There's nothing like someone tapping you on the shoulder and saying, we see you, we see the work that you do. and in some ways saying, you're a badass woman. And we agree to that. So with that being said, let's begin and welcome our founder, honoree. The founder is the keystone of her company and the primary leader in her business. Inspiring with her past and her current endeavors, she uplifts those around her by sharing her knowledge and her experiences while cultivating new concepts, encouraging growth among her colleagues, and facilitating success within her company. This year's honoree is the founder and owner of Village Wells Books and Coffee. Yes. It's a community-focused business that opened in Culver City on December 31st, 2020. Let me say that again. It opened on December 31st in 2020. During the COVID-19 pandemic, the Village Wells Bookstore is a bookstore cafe with a mission to be a welcoming community space where people can be inspired and find connection. A lifelong avid reader and a lover of bookstores, Jennifer has been focused on developing community for most of her adult life. Before building Village Wells, she spent her career in community finance and development, focusing on permanent supportive housing for people moving out of homelessness. Since moving from Washington, D.C. to Los Angeles in 1997, she worked with various nonprofit organizations to develop an understanding of the challenges of operating non-housing social enterprise. It was there her desire to create her own welcoming, supportive community space, it was solidified there. Help me in congratulating the 2021 founder honoree, Jennifer Caspar of Village Wells.
I'm Jennifer Caspar. I am the owner of Village Well Books and Coffee. We are a bookstore and cafe in downtown Culver City. We strive to be a place where people can find welcome and comfort and information and inspiration. So I spent most of my adult professional years working in another field, but I always had in the back of my mind that I wanted to create a business of my own. I thought it would be a coffee shop where we would have events and community suppers and gather neighbors together. When I added the bookstore to the idea of a coffee shop, it all kind of came together. And in today's retail environment, you really need to have a specific angle, and you have to give people a lot of reasons to come in the door. And by combining the two businesses, I finally created something I think can be sustainable. We look for opportunities to support local artists and local authors all the time. So we've got the work of a couple of local artists whose work I've appreciated hanging on our walls now. And then local authors come in every day and ask if we can carry their books. And so I always say yes and give them an opportunity to have their book displayed on a table in our store. And also we invite local authors in to read their books, to share. We have open mic nights and poetry nights. And we're looking for all kinds of opportunities to help local people share their work. And in doing that, it's been good for our business because when they do come in and share their work, their friends come in to support them. And then those are people who are discovering the business, maybe for the first time or finding another reason to love it and become a regular. So in the beginning, my big challenge was just confidence and believing in myself that I could pull off this business that I had never done before. And once I did, COVID hit. And COVID has just been a handful of little challenges. The beautiful thing is we opened on New Year's Eve, 2020, right in the middle of COVID, but it couldn't have been a better time for our business. There's so much wonderful pent-up demand for people for what we are offering, this local community-focused gathering place and tangible analog items that aren't computer screens, that the community has just embraced us, and it's been wonderful. Being nominated for and receiving the Founder Award is so gratifying, especially in our first year of being open for business. I have put my heart and soul into this concept and this idea for many years, and I've believed in it myself. And to be embraced by the community and so warmly welcomed already is very validating, and I'm so grateful.
I really feel so blessed. For many years, I've had a vision of a place where I wanted to hang out, a third place after home and work that was comfortable and welcoming. As time went on, the place took shape in my mind. It was light-filled and colorfully decorated. It had coffee and interesting things happening, speakers and gatherings and opportunities for everyday chance encounters, and it made people feel welcome and connected. I wanted to have that place to go, to work or to meet somebody, but I couldn't find it. I was blessed with the privilege and the ability to develop my idea, to work with space designers and builders, to learn from booksellers and coffee roasters and make the place a reality. And now I get to inhabit it, to spend my days with a wonderful and diverse staff and an incredible community of customers. It's very hard work, and it's satisfying in many of the ways that I imagined it would be. It was not part of the original plan that the business would open in the middle of a global pandemic, though. But it turns out that that may have been a blessing too, because in January of 2021, when we opened our doors, there was strong support from day one for books. People wanted to come in and browse paper books. I believe the need for human connection has been with us for a long time. And the pandemic underlined not just that, but it pushed us beyond our limits with electronic screens and toward tangible analog things like books. So it's truly so gratifying to have trusted my instincts, and in my first year of business, see it busy, filled with people who want what I wanted, and to be recognized in this way from this body. It's just amazing. Thank you. I want to thank in particular Joanna Brody, who's been my ambassador to all things Culver City. She's helped introduce me to this wonderful city that's so interconnected through local government and schools. And the people here have a real sense of agency and an ability to control their environment, which doesn't exist the same way in Los Angeles, where I live. Joanna has all the grassroots connections that have helped me get started, getting to know the community. And I want to thank also the many partners and family and friends for supporting me along the way. I look forward to many years of good stories, coffee, wine, and laughs together. So thank you, Chamber of Commerce, for your support and for this recognition, which is really just overwhelmingly gratifying.
Okay, so let's move on to the next award. And this is the Visionary Award. The visionary always has her sights set on the future, open-minded and ambitious. She strives towards improving her industry and the lives of others through her initiative and the work she does. She knows that it takes a team to make a difference and rise to the top. Productive collaboration and listening to ideas of others is just some of her strengths. This year, Visionary honoree is the founder and principal of Balanced Approach, a certified woman-owned consulting firm that provides clients with best practice-based sustainability, planning, and program management services to conserve resources, reduce cost, and enhance well-being. Ms. Cunningham. She has over 25 years of multi-sector community level international experience and is passionate about helping others engage in environment stewardship and social responsibility. Locally and in partnership with Sustainable Works, Ms. Cunningham co-founded and co-managed the Culver City Sustainable Business Certification Program, CCSBCP. The California Green Business Network approved and utility sponsored program assists Culver City businesses in the office, retail, restaurant, arts, schools to achieve energy efficiency, water conservation, waste and pollution reduction, and social responsible measures. Help me to congratulate the 2021 Visionary honoree, Shea Cunningham, with the Balanced Approach. As she's coming up here, we will watch a video of her accomplishments.
I'm Shea Cunningham, founder and principal of Balanced Approach, a mission-driven sustainability planning consulting firm that helps businesses, municipalities, and school districts with best practices in sustainability to conserve resources, to reduce costs, and to enhance well-being. Balanced Approach is unique in that we assist businesses with our sustainability planning services across the spectrum of sectors and sizes, from small, locally focused businesses to international firms. Balanced Approach is an all-woman business. We are multilingual, and we all have international experience on our small but mighty team. In the beginning, the big challenge really was to convince key stakeholders, key decision makers, the value of engaging in sustainability and developing sustainable programs, policies, goals, and objectives. I've sort of always had to kind of be really extra patient and persistent with my mission to help others achieve become environmental stewards and to understand the meaning of sustainability. It is truly something to celebrate when businesses see the results of their positive impacts on their operations, the community, and the greater environment. For instance, to date, 46 certified sustainable businesses in Culver City are now saving over 246,000 kilowatt hours of electricity, 3.3 million gallons of water, diverting 38 tons of recyclables from the landfill, and avoiding an estimated 176 metric tons of greenhouse gases annually. And I'm extremely passionate about helping businesses align with the United Nations 17 Sustainable Development Goals. Even if they don't go with all 17, just picking a few is really important. I'm truly honored to receive this award from the Culver City Chamber. The Visionary Honoree Award in particular is very exciting for me because really that aligns with the work that I do in sustainability planning. So I do kind of feel like this is a turning point in the sense that more and more people are realizing the importance of planning for the future and for planning for a cleaner, greener, and more diverse and equitable society.
I have to say, I was truly gobsmacked when I got the phone call from she's a neighbor. Is she here, Janice? I don't know if she's here, but anyway, she's here in spirit. And it really was a shot in the arm with no side effects or booster required. Wink, wink. Trying to, insert a little humor here. A special shout out goes out to Colin Diaz, who's been such a dream to work with through the, with our program, the Sustainable Business Certification Program. My partner, my CCSBCP partner over at Table 16, Susie Borlito with Sustainable Works. My dream team partner on my team, Balanced Approach, Sandrine Cassidy. And my husband and my friends over there at Table 16 and, the whole chamber, the association, the whole business. Really, it's just really fun. So, okay, well, since I'm being honored with this weighty Visionary Award, I will take this opportunity to point out what has unfortunately become blatantly obvious. Mother Nature is pissed off. Climate calamities abound. Global weirding is here. Yes, I said global weirding because that's more on brand. Each year is the hottest on record. Each year we are witness to the largest fires in history. Each year and every year, we are enduring destructive storms of epic proportions. In the Western US, we are in an official mega drought of a magnitude never seen before. The sea level is rising and eroding our beaches now, and not just the coast here, but around the world at a rapid clip. Sadly, the less affluent and people of color are being disproportionately impacted. There is no planet B. We can and we must do better. Everyone wants to live in a clean and safe environment. Am I right? We all share that. We can do our part by conserving resources, reducing our waste and our carbon footprints, and looking out for our neighbors. Fortunately, more people are waking up and stepping up. I'm heartened to see more businesses of all sizes are beginning to integrate environmental social governance programming and diversity, equity, and inclusion programming. into their operations and choosing to become certified as sustainable. And governments and elected officials are finally beginning to make meaningful progress. As I speak, the United Nations Climate Change Conference, COP26, is in progress now in Scotland, and more substantive commitments are being made for carbon reductions. There is no doubt we have a daunting task before us, but I am cautiously optimistic. A critical mass of people from all walks of life and sectors of the economy will turn this ship around. And I'm absolutely thrilled to be a collaborator in this great effort. To quote His Holiness, the Dalai Lama, to remain indifferent to the challenges we face is indefensible. If the goal is noble, whether or not it is realized within our lifetime is largely irrelevant. What we must do, therefore, is to strive and persevere and never give up. On that light note, once again, heaps of gratitude for this award.
Okay, let's keep this party train moving. So next up, we're going to talk about the Innovator Award. And the Innovator is innovative and on the leading edge of her profession. The Innovator is a risk taker in of the field of science, technology, engineering, art, math, and media, STEM. With boundless creativity and endless ideas, she seeks out pioneering ways to solve problems in her unique professional world and has made her mark in her field. This year's Innovator honoree is the co-founder of OsteoStrong, Mar Vista. Yes. It's a biohacking wellness center focused on strengthening bones and joints and muscles. She's also the co-founder of Balanced Bones, an online education program supporting people in having healthier bones. I think we all could use some healthier bones, right? I see a few head nodding. After a successful career in marketing and sales with more than 2 decades of experience in music, design, and hospitality, she left to pursue her passion as a champion for health optimization. As a pro-aging advocate, she guides others in discovering new ways to age gracefully through technology, mindset, and supplementation. Help me in congratulating the 2021 Innovator honoree, Sarah Glicken of OsteoStrong.
I'm Sarah Glicken. I'm one of the co-owners of OsteoStrong Mar Vista. We are a biohacking wellness center that focuses on strengthening your bones, joints, and muscles. I've always been passionate about health and wellness, and so grateful that I grew up in a family where we took health seriously. Unfortunately, both of my parents died of cancer, and it was at that moment that I knew that I wanted to make a bigger difference in the world and help people to lead healthier lives. We opened OsteoStrong in April 2018, and we get to see people make so many miraculous changes in their bodies, whether it's increasing their bone density naturally, getting stronger, more fit. It's just a great feeling to be able to support people in these changes. You may have heard of the term biohacking, which essentially means getting maximum results with minimum effort in your body. At OsteoStrong, we really are the ultimate biohack. We are not a gym. We're a place that you come to optimize your health. We have 4 pieces of equipment that focus on different parts of the body. As an example, the upper growth trigger focuses on shoulders, down to your elbows, down to your wrists. What we're doing is end-to-end compression on your bones, which triggers what's called osteogenesis and increases bone density. We have several other amazing modalities that focus on health optimization, recharging your cells, and immunity. I am a pro-aging advocate, and my goal is to help as many people as possible to lead healthier lives. Many people in this country think that once we hit a certain age, it means that we will be in pain, we'll be weak, and we won't be able to do the things that we used to do. It's really my goal to shift that. There are so many challenges that we face as new entrepreneurs, especially in the first couple of years of business, but nothing can compete with what we went through last year with COVID. As a brick and mortar business, we were shut for multiple months, but I'm proud to say that we kept our entire team employed the entire time, and we've really overcome all of those obstacles, and we're back stronger than ever. I'm incredibly honored to receive the Innovator Award from the Culver City Chamber. I've always felt like I was on the cutting edge, and to be an innovator means trying things that others haven't tried and doing things that others haven't done. And that's what I want to continue to do with OsteoStrong and in my life. Thank you to the other honorees. It means so much to be honored in business, but especially for me to be honored as a woman in business. I grew up with a very strong mother who taught me how to be a strong woman. I have an entire team that is all women, including our wonderful GM, Marisol Rodriguez, there at our table. And it's my goal always, and to receive an award like this, really to support our team and to mentor these young women as they're coming up in their careers and their lives so that they can continue to do really wonderful things in the world. I also want to thank the Culver City Chamber, of course, Colin and Monica and team. It's always an honor to be. There were so many great things that we were doing pre-COVID, and I'm excited to get to do more of them now that we're back actually having people to people and creating community. Special thank you to my life and business partner, Robert Frank, in the back there, who is not a woman, but equally deserving of part of this award as an owner of this business. And of course, our fairy godmother, Yvonne Parsons, who helps to make it all possible. I also want to give a quick shout out to sustainability. I grew up in Santa Fe, New Mexico, where I learned about the value of health for myself, as well as the value of health for our planet. And I'm proud to say that we are a certified green business in Culver City. And that we were, I believe, if not the first, one of the first companies to be certified at our first year in business. We're a completely paper-free business, and we do as much as we can to support the earth in all ways possible. So just shout out to that world. So why did we open OsteoStrong and do what we do? We opened in April 2018. Because, as you saw in the video, I unfortunately lost both of my parents to cancer. And I knew at that moment, after my dad died, that it was my desire to make more of an impact in the world. And health truly is our greatest wealth, right? Our body is our temple. And I knew that I wanted to do something where I could make an impact in people's lives and make changes in the health of the world. And that's how OsteoStrong came about for us. There are 54 million people in this country living with bone density issues. That is truly epidemic proportions, and it's growing pretty substantially every year. It's no longer just a women's illness. There are many men, and it's getting younger and younger. And I believe that there are ways that we can all naturally support our health, and that I am here on a path to support us all in doing things to change our health naturally and to take back power over our own health, so that what we're looking at is truly healthcare and not sick care, and that we age gracefully and have a chance to feel good in our bodies for as long as possible. So I'd love to invite you all into OsteoStrong whenever you like, because we are a brick and mortar business that invites people in for a complimentary session to check it all out. We'd be honored to have you. Again, thank you so much to the Culver City Chamber and to all of you for honoring me.
So with that, we're moving on to the next Trailblazer Award. And particularly me as a fellow Swede, I'm very pleased to introduce this award to my fellow Swede lady. With an entrepreneur spirit, the Trailblazer is a professional who finds new paths where there were none and not afraid to take chances. Her motto might be a version of, if we don't succeed, let's try something different. As she navigates the stages of her great career, the desire to cultivate something new and extraordinary drives her to succeed. This year, Trailblazer is very accomplished. Vice President, Studio Production Affairs at Sony Picture Entertainment. She oversees initiative and policy that impact Sony's local and regional corporate strategies, production activity, and studio operations. In her role, Kristin serves as the primary business liaison between the studio and the city of Culver City and guides Sony's entitlement to develop the studio lot property. Her preview also includes supporting Sony Pictures, motion picture and television streaming groups to assist with production-related challenges and opportunities. She represents Sony in the Culver City Chamber of Commerce by serving as a member of the board, and she was the chair of the board in 2020. She also serves as the chamber on the executive committee, and she's one of the founders of the Women in Business Council. Help me congratulate my fellow Swede, Trailblazer honoree, Kristin Larson Cavanaugh.
I'm Kristin Larson Cavanaugh, Vice President of Studio and Production Affairs at Sony Pictures Entertainment, and I'm part of our Global Policy and External Affairs Division. In my role, I serve as the primary liaison for the studio's business operations within Culver City. So I think what makes my role unique for Sony and within Culver City is that, we're a major large studio and we're the only studio in a small town. We cultivated a very special, mutually beneficial relationship when Sony first moved here, and we've just been growing it and enhancing it ever since. And one of the things that I do love about my role is that as Culver City has expanded and grown, my role naturally has right along with it. And I think over time, I really felt like Sony became my home. I actually lived in Culver City for a number of years. And, I do have this knowledge of what it's like to both live and work here in Culver City. And as a result, it's very meaningful that, Culver City administrators involve me in their conversations about kind of what comes next for the city, whether it's the Creative Economy Task Force or general plan discussions. So I'm grateful for the opportunity to help the city that way. A great example of the strong relationship between Sony Pictures and Culver City, and when I say Culver City, I mean, staff and our elected officials, was something that we were able to do with them in the middle of the pandemic, the summer of 2020. We wanted to do a drive-in theater on our outdoor parking lot, and we were able to successfully work with the city fast and furiously to make it happen. And we were also able to offer a community screening, which benefited Feed Culver. I know we all value mentors who have, been in our lives, and I can think of several right now who helped me along the way. So as I continue to offer some of my experience, I really hope to continue to kind of give back. I am so thrilled and I'm humbly honored to receive the Trailblazer Award from the Women in Business Council. It feels kind of like a full circle moment for me since I helped establish the council a few years ago with colleagues and with Steve Rose. And it's exciting to see what it's grown into in a very short period of time. So I can't thank you enough. It's just a really special moment for me.
Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for this honor, for this award. I won't repeat everything you just learned about my career, so I'm going to cut that part of the speech out. But I will say thank you, Britta, for the lovely introduction. We are sort of fellow Swedes. I'm a fake Swede because, of course, I didn't grow up there. But, my name is Larson, so there we go. And originally this award did say as she embarks on the early stages of her career. So I appreciate Britta making that change. I thought all my lotions and potions might have been fooling you all this time, but anyway, in all seriousness, this means a lot to me. I'm humbly honored. It's very gratifying for all the reasons that you just kind of saw. My job is unique. This liaison between the studio and the city. Like I said, I really do feel like my role has grown right alongside this incredible explosion that we've seen in Culver City. I'm very proud to be part of it, and any contribution I might have made in a teeny tiny way it means a lot to me. It's very gratifying. This also feels like a little bit of a full circle moment, as I like to call it, because I did help along with Colette, and we had conversations with Steve Rose, Barbara Brody, wherever she may be, to start this council to just shine a spotlight on women in business in Culver City. So it's awesome to see what it's turned into. I could go on about how awesome so many people are that have helped me kind of along the way, but I do believe gratitude is one of the most important things we can have in our life. So I am going to say a huge thank you, first of all, to the Women in Business Council, to the Chamber, to Colin and staff. You're doing amazing work in the city. You picked up kind of where Steve Rose left off. You just took it and ran with it. So thank you for all that you do. Thank you to so many city staff and officials, some of whom are here today. Great friendships and working relationships through the years mean a lot to me. A thank you to Julie Lugo-Serra, Ron Silverman, Eleanor Arthur, from a lot of my OJT, as I like to call it. That's really what happened when I started working at Sony. Comrades at NPA and other studios, and my great department mates who cannot be here today, but a really great group of people that I work with. We're like a functional family, not a dysfunctional family. And last but not least, my parents and my sister, hi, they're watching in Connecticut. Sorry, I'm like an emotional person. So anyway, they instilled in me and us a very strong work ethic. They worked hard all their lives to just help us, follow our dreams, drive across the country. And my mother's an incredible role model. She's we like to call her the Energizer Bunny. My parents had their own business, a garden center and greenhouse. Work was our life. She worked hard, she raised us, she did everything, and she's an incredibly strong woman. So hi, Mom and Dad and Dad. And and thank you to Roger, who has brought light into my life and helps me keep my head on straight more times than I can count. And the real last but not least, my kids, Sarah, who's in Boston, and Michael, who I let play hooky today from school. Everything I do is for them. I am so excited to see you both on your path and what comes next. And thank you so much. I appreciate this award. I appreciate everybody here. Thanks.
All right. So we are up to our final award here. And this award goes to a current nonprofit staff member, CEO, or executive director whose distinguished achievements have resulted in significant progress towards improving a community issue. They work on behalf of the registered 501c3 nonprofit organizations whose programs serve the Culver City community. They are recognized by their peers as a leader in their sector. She demonstrates excellence in leadership, management, and inspires others to achieve meaningful, measurable, and sustainable results. This year's nonprofit leader has worked in the not-for-profit sector, specifically in the healthcare sphere. She is a Chief Executive Officer of the Achievable Foundation's Achievable, a community healthcare center specializing in providing high-quality healthcare to people with intellectual and developmental disabilities, their families, and the vulnerable populations. She took over this leadership of this first of its kind healthcare center shortly after it opened its doors. Since then, Achievable has experienced a patient growth of over 250%. Her goal is to replicate this innovative model of care across the nation. Prior to Achievable, she served as the CEO of Pomona Community Health Center, where she demonstrated unwavering commitment to professional excellence. She is a former Chief Operations Officer of Venice Family Clinic, which is at the time held the distinction of being the largest free clinic in the nation. She serves on the Culver City Disability Advisory Committee and the Culver City Economic Recovery Task Force. She has served on several not-for-profit boards and is the current board chair of the Community Clinic Association in Los Angeles County. The association's vision is to advance the healthcare wellness of communities throughout Los Angeles by creating a comprehensive healthcare system for the underserved population to help reduce the health disparities in the county. Help me in congratulating the nonprofit honoree, Carmen Ibarra of Achievable Foundation. Carmen will be coming to the stage shortly after the video about her. Thank you.
I'm Carmen Ibarra, the Chief Executive Officer for the Achievable Foundation. Achievable is a nonprofit, federally qualified health center located in Culver City. Our mission is to provide high-quality, integrated healthcare for people with intellectual and developmental disabilities, their families, and other vulnerable populations. When I first heard that the Achievable Foundation was looking for an executive director, I really became intrigued. The mission really called out to me. You know, no other healthcare was really providing this kind of unique lens on healthcare and the people they were serving. And so I wanted to be a part of that. I wanted to be part of that mission and have an impact in the community that I live in. Achievable is truly the first of its kind community health center. We're the first in the state, and we believe the first in the nation that opened its doors and had an intentionality about providing access to healthcare for people with intellectual and developmental disabilities. We want to make sure that our model is expanded on, that we are able to continue to grow so that we have a larger impact, but not only by us providing healthcare to more individuals, but we also want to make sure that others are doing the same. We want to serve as a model. Many businesses have been impacted during COVID, but our situation was a bit unique in that we had to learn how to provide healthcare for people that could no longer come in and see us in the office. We had to transition into telehealth, and oftentimes we had to arrange for people to provide healthcare services in their homes. So we had to be very creative and adaptable. The Women in Business Nonprofit Leadership Award is special to me because it means that all those sleepless nights are truly paying off. In recognizing me as a nonprofit leader, there's also recognition that Achievable's mission is a critical one, and that together, working with our community, we can continue to have a huge impact.
It truly is an honor to be standing here before you to receive the Women in Business Nonprofit Leadership Award today. I want to call your attention to a pin I'm wearing, which reads, healthcare is a right, not a privilege. So when you're starting off from this basic premise, it's not hard to put a lot of sweat and tears towards a mission that you're passionate about. I work for a wonderful organization that believes in creating health equity for people of all abilities. However, I wouldn't be standing here right now if it weren't that for the fact that I'm standing really on the shoulders of great people. I want to thank my board, and I have some members of my board here today, for encouraging me every step of the way. I want to thank my team that really makes my crazy ideas come to fruition and put them into action, even while they're rolling their eyes. I want to thank my family in particular, and especially my husband, who is also here with me today, for believing in me even when I didn't believe in myself. Thank you, Culver City Chamber of Commerce, Women in Business. This truly is a special award for me, especially given all the challenges that we faced during hardship. All the challenges we faced during COVID. You know, it's in healthcare. Initially, we didn't even know if we would have our doors open initially when we had the pandemic. So to be here today, to acknowledge the work that I do, to acknowledge the work that Achievable does is truly special. Thank you. It means a great deal to me.
As you've heard, there's 5 categories that the Women in Business Council that we honor each year. The nonprofit category was just added. So when you look at yourself and you look in the mirror, if you're a badass woman in business, we hope that you will see yourself here next year. Those of you that are sitting next to women in business, don't hesitate to nominate them next year, because that's how we as women continue to rise, because you see the work that we do and you're not afraid to say, great job.
Congratulations again to all today's honorees. Your stories were inspiring and your path to success was empowering. I'm proud to be a fellow recipient as well. Before we close today's event, I want to take a moment again to thank most of all our sponsors. Without you, this would not be possible, so thank you so much. And I also want to thank the chamber staff that put all this together, my partners in the Business Council for Women. Thank you as well. And finally, you notice on the table all these beautiful centerpieces provided by Helm's Flowers. And of course, we would like to give them out so somebody can come home with them. And actually, Colin and Candace decided. I was not part of it because I'm born in April, but they together decided that the person at your table who will get this beautiful flowers to take home will be, tomorrow is actually Cannon's birthday and anniversary on November 5th. So it will be the person at your table that has the birthday closest to November 5th. You win the flowers to take home. So congratulations. Thank you all so much for coming, and we'll see you back next year. Thank you.